So you want to play Lee Mei in Mortal Kombat 1, but you're not sure which cameo fighter to pick. Today, we'll be checking out each cameo and seeing which ones complement Lee Mei's playstyle and moveset the most. This will be a great starting point for anyone new to the game or new to the character of Lee Mei. And also, I'll leave the timestamps in the description if you want to jump to a specific character. Consider supporting the channel by becoming a YouTube member. Members gain access to a custom support badge next to their name on this channel, exclusive emotes to use on YouTube, and members are shouted out in video descriptions and monthly community posts. You can find the join button under each of my videos and on my channel page as well. Thank you guys for all your support. Let's get right into the video. And our first cameo up, as always with these videos, is going to be Darrius. These combos with this character are just so much fun. But to start, the first move we have is the Twister Kicks. A great way to start off any round. You just call it right in. You don't even have to move, and you can get a hit. 12%, maybe get that first bar of meter for first hit advantage. Honestly, not a bad move at all. And next up in Darrius's kit, we do have the overhead, which you can delay, and it's a double overhead. So one thing you can do, you can call it in. You can delay it, hold, and then you do a low overhead, kind of like a hard to blockable. And that leads you into full combo. I mean, 36% on a low overhead mix-up is actually pretty sweet if you can get it to actually work. But the real reason we're using Darrius, it takes up the whole bar of cameo meter, of course, is Tornado Kick, the combo extender that just makes every character's combos so much more fun. So one thing I want to show you guys before we get into the actual combos, if your back is to the corner, you can back throw your opponent into the corner, get Darrius, and get a 17% throw plus corner advantage. I don't know when you're ever going to use that, and it costs the whole bar of cameo, but you never know when you're going to use it, so I thought I'd just let you guys know. But now to the actual combos with Lee Mei and Darrius, you're pretty much getting like 40% every single time you use Tornado Kick. So in the mid-screen, we can do something really simple, just a 1, 2, 4, then go into the kick. And we'll just get full corner carry for 37% from the mid-screen. But if you don't want the full corner carry and you want damage, we can actually do that as well. We can get, I believe, about 40. Yeah, 406 damage. Honestly, insane for a mid-screen 1-bar combo. But in the corner, we can get a nice, easy 43%. Not a crazy combo at all. Honestly, pretty easy. You just do 2, 1, 2. And there we go, 430 in the corner. So no matter where you are on screen, you're getting over 400 damage with Darrius and Lee Mei. Again, the only problem is Tornado Kick takes up the whole bar of cameo, so maybe you're only getting those combos once a match or maybe once a round if the rounds are pretty long. But other than that, Darrius is just so much fun, man. I always love using this character, especially when I'm learning a new character, because the combos are just crazy. And our next cameo up, Old Faithful, we have Sareena. Literally pairs perfectly with every single character in the game. Her kit is just absolutely insane, mostly because of her Blades combo extender, though. And with Lee Mei, we can get some really good damage, even in the mid-screen. Super simple. We go to the 3, 4. After the second one, you want to go forward 4, 3. And then we can get full corner carry, 42%, 1 bar, and look where we end up from the mid-screen. But what I really love about the Blades is that it allows me a free forward 4, 3 pop-up. Like, this move is super unsafe on block. I think it's like minus 1,000. You're gonna get blown up for it. So every time you just go into the Blades, you get a free pop-up, you go into your 2, 1, 2, meter burn, and then you get your full string right there. It's just crazy how good it is that you get a guaranteed forward 4, 3 pop-up. And her next move up is the Aura, which depletes your opponent's meter, one of the most important resources to have in Mortal Kombat 1. So to be able to just get rid of it from your opponent is amazing. But where I love to use this is in the corner, because you can call it in, and it doesn't matter if our opponent is all the way up here in the air. They're still depleting meter. And look at that, a full combo, and they ended up with less meter than what they started with. Being able to just call this in, man, is so good. Even if you don't have meter, look at that. It just drains, dude. It just absolutely drains. So anytime you find yourself in the corner, definitely be using Sareena's Aura, because to just get your opponent off of that, they don't have breaker, they got to take all this damage, and Lee Mei can dish out some serious damage. And another thing I like about the Aura is Lee Mei's back throw animation is actually one of like the longest in the game, I think. So being able to throw the Aura out there when you do back throw and then get into your pressure plus frames, whatever you want to do, is really good. After that, we also have a quick projectile, just a nice 60 damage high, fast. Sareena comes back pretty quick. You pair this with some of Lee Mei's projectiles, and I mean, you're pretty much a force to be reckoned with. They're all highs, unfortunately, but it's still really good, especially if you're in like a projectile fight. But there's more to this move with Lee Mei, because you can actually combo off of it. I never even thought that you would be able to get a combo off of this move. So if you have a bar of meter, we can actually do this into it, and for 36%, and Sareena's already back because the recharge rate on this is just so good. So honestly, it's a pretty sweet combo extender too. And finally, we have Sareena's Get Off Me, which is a reversal tool. But what's really cool is if you don't have any meter and your opponent's in the corner, you can actually use this and extend your combo and get a free 28% for no meter, and Sareena's basically already back. So as I always say, man, Sareena always in like a top 3 pick for every single character. And our next cameo up is going to be Cyrax, who just pairs so well with Lee May. Honestly, such a fun character to use. And that, of course, is because of the vertical chopper. And some cool examples of this. So a forward 4-3. Basically, anytime you meter burn your projectile, you're always going to be able to call Cyrax in. And right there, 1 bar of meter, half a bar of cameo, and we're getting about 38% in the mid screen. It is pretty tough to land this forward 4-3 because of how minus it is. So just a nice simple combo. Again, anytime you're using that projectile, you can just bring in Cyrax. Free 33%. Not bad whatsoever in the mid screen. So one thing to know about Cyrax before we get into the corner combos is anytime you dash punch in the corner, you can bring Cyrax in. So an example of a combo, if we do hit this forward 4-3 in the corner, we just go for it. Dash punch, always bring in Cyrax. 1-3 into the spin. 45% for 1 bar in the corner. Are you kidding me? But again, that forward 4-3 can be a little bit difficult to hit. So if we just do something nice and simple here, we can still get a chunky amount of damage. I mean, we're breaking 400 every single time in the corner for 1 bar and half a bar of cameo. Cyrax is just absolutely insane. Even if we don't have meter, we can still get 34%. And I love these Cyrax combos so much. But another Cyrax move, we do have the net. I mean, just call it out. If it hits, you have plenty of time to walk in. And again, anything that gives me access to a free forward 4-3 is good in my book. And then we can even bring Cyrax in again. Double combo, 35%. Always just call this out there. I don't know. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it works. We do also have Cyrax's self-destruct bomb, and we're not going to go over it because I don't think you should waste your cameo meter on this. But hey, if anybody knows any tech with self-destruct, let me know in the comments. I'm still looking. Finally, with Cyrax, you can meter burn his forward throw for 2 bars of meter, so it is a little expensive. But with Lee May, of course, we can get some sweet combos. 2-1-2. This is going to burn all your resources. So just know, that 26% combo in the mid-screen, that's all 3 bars of meter right there. So just keep that in mind. If you don't want to use all 3 bars of meter, you can get about 21%, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 21%. Really simple combo there in the mid-screen. But if we are in the corner and we're going to burn all 3 bars of meter, we don't really care. We just want to close out the game. We could definitely do that as well. Dash punch, Cyrax, 1-3. And just like that, 32%, again, is going to cost all 3 bars of meter. But if you win the game, you don't need meter, as I always say. But yeah, man, Cyrax is a sweet character with Lee May. The combos are a lot of fun. Our next cameo up is going to be Kano. And Kano and Lee May are actually a pretty lethal team, I'm not going to lie. And first up, we're going to be going over the knife toss. So just on its own, as a projectile, pairs really nicely with some of Lee May's projectiles. So at full screen, adding just an extra projectile is really good. Just bring it in. Pair it with your projectiles. You can get some combos on projectiles. And what's really cool about the knives is they combo really nicely off the down back 3. So let's say we're in the mid screen, we don't have any meter. We could do something really simple. It's going to be about 27%. No meter, hit confirm off 1-2-4. Not too bad at all. But in the corner, this is where the knives get sick, man. So we can do the same thing. We'll go for it. And then we can go lantern, 2-1-2, meter burn. And just like that, we're breaking that 40% for a sick looking combo and pretty simple hit confirm. And if we have no meter, we could basically do the same thing. I believe we're going to get like 30 less damage, but I mean, still really good. 37% in the corner, no meter at all with some knives, and it looks sick. You can't really beat that. I'm not going to be talking about this string too much in today's video, but if we are in the corner, 4-3-4. Also, like, ends in this weird pop-up right here, so we could do 4-3-4, bring in the knives, lantern, and then just like that again, no meter, 30%. There's just so many ways to bring the knives in and combo. It's just so good, man. They just work so well. And to quickly go over the next move, we do have eye laser. Again, I'm really never using this. Kano does recharge pretty quick, and it's about 90 damage, not bad. But I don't know. I'd really never use the meter on it. And last but not least, we have Kano ball. Just has so much utility, man. I love this move. So if we just set our opponent to block, they're just blocking everything. There's really nothing we could do. You always just bring in Kano ball, let it rip. It's just more pressure. You're getting your turn back. You can hold it. Your opponent doesn't know when you're going to do it. We'll let it rip. Take the plus frames. There's just so much to it. And it's a body in front of you, too. So, like, let's say we're standing back here. We're throwing a bunch of projectiles. We can bring Kano ball in, projectile, and that's just another projectile. It's a human body, but it's a projectile nonetheless. But I would say the biggest utility that I found with Kano ball that I like a lot is we were talking earlier about this forward 4-3 string just being literally minus 1,000. You are going to get blown up for it every time you do it. We can actually go for it because Kano is going to keep us safe based on your timing. So if we know we want to do forward 4-3, we just let Kano rip right after it, and it keeps us completely safe. We can even maybe take our turn back with a quick stand 1. And now you might be wondering, well, what happens if I bring in the Kano ball and my forward 4-3 hits? Well, we bring him in, forward 4-3 ends up hitting. He's just going to go right past them, so it doesn't even matter. So on block, we're going to get safe and maybe even take our turn back. And on hit, no difference at all. So you literally have nothing to lose when calling this in. So I like that little piece of tech a lot, man. Kano Ball is so good. It really is just a timing thing, and it takes a little while to find out the best opportunities to let it rip. But Kano Ball is sick. And overall, man, Kano just works so nicely with Lee Mei. Definitely a solid choice. And our next cameo up is going to be Sonya. And the first thing we like to talk about with Sonya is the fact that she has the highest damaging forward throw in the game at 140 damage. And this adds up quick, man. 14% throws is really good. Especially with Lee Mei, people are always trying to block, especially like 1-2 plus frames. So just racking up these 14% throws is so solid. But we're not really here to talk about the throws. We're here to talk about the combos, and that is because of Square Wave. So if you love aerial combos in MK1, this is your team right here, without a doubt. So just to show you some like insanity that can actually happen, we'll go double Sonya right here. I mean, that's mid-screen, 40% double Sonya. Like, all aerial. Completely aerial. The whole combo here, it literally just takes place in the sky. Like, what is better than that, man? And you're getting 40% in the mid-screen for 1 bar of meter. I'm telling you, these aerial combos are sick. But in the corners where we can do some really cool stuff, too. So something really simple, again, off that 1-2-4. Just probably the best string in the game. We can get a full combo right there. 1 bar of meter, 40% in the corner. But Sonya also combos off 1-2-4, which is really cool. And that opens up some pretty cool options. So we can go 1-2-4, lantern. And just like that, 37% no meter again. Super simple, and it's a lantern combo, which just looks so sick. And what's also cool is you can do 1-2-4, no meter projectile, and that combos as well. So we can do 1-2-4, meter, projectile, 2-1-2, meter burn it, and get full combo right there. 43% in the corner for a bar of meter, man. Off a simple 1-2-4 projectile into Sonya. I love these combos with Square Wave. I could literally sit here and do them all day. So basically, anytime you pop your opponent up, just press Square Wave. Just hit that cameo button anytime you knock them up and start going crazy and find some awesome combos. But not only that, we do have energy rings. I'm really never going to use this too much. I mean, it does kind of pair pretty nicely with Lee Mei's. If you charge it, it does become a mid. But again, I'm really not using this move too much. I'm burning all this cameo meter for the Square Wave. But last but not least, we have leg grab, which I do tend to use here and there. Super easy hit confirm. So what I like to do with leg grab is use it as a side switch, of course, especially if my back is to the corner and I'm just trying to get out of there and maybe take corner advantage. I mean, something really simple, just like that. 23%, super easy to hit, and we have the corner. If we do want the corner, we want some more damage as well, we can definitely do that. We get the 27% there into corner pressure. Really not bad. Again, anytime you're really just trying to switch sides with your opponent, just hit that leg grab and you'll be able to do it. So I like Sonya, man. Between the throw, the fun aerial combos, there's so much creativity, and the occasional side switch with leg grab, Sonya is just an absolutely all-star pick with Lee Mei. Our next cameo up is going to be Sektor, and on paper, I was so excited to try out Sektor and Lee Mei, and that's mostly because of Teleport Punch. However, Teleport Punch does not combo off 1-2. Teleport Punch does not combo off 2-1. Teleport Punch doesn't even combo off 4-3. The only thing Teleport Punch combos off of is single hitting moves. So like forward 4, stand 2, teleport punch. And honestly, I just think it's way too risky to do it off one button. It's much better as a hit confirm option. So that really disappointed me, man. I spent literally like 15 minutes just trying to find any buttons that go into teleport punch that are hit confirmable, and there's nothing. If you know you're gonna get the hit, or maybe it's like a free punish, you could go for it. And I mean, you're still getting some decent damage. I think it's about 30%, 32%. So not the worst. So let's say your opponent does something super unsafe, you can just go real quick into like a stand 2 into teleport punch. But really disappointed that it doesn't combo off 1-2 or even 2-1. But that's not to say Sektor is completely worthless, because he has the best projectile in the game, and that is up rocket. And one thing I love to do with Lee Mei and Sektor is, I mean, anytime you're ending with chain reaction, you just go up rocket. And now the second your opponent stands up, they got to deal with it. I mean, a normal string would look something like this. We'll just do chain reaction. Always go up rocket. And now they got to deal with the rocket. So you could either go into the low, you could do the overhead. While they're waiting for the rocket to hit them, they're going to be blocking. So it's just such a good pressure tool, man. And especially at full screen, you can call it in. Lee Mei has great projectiles, so they're just dealing with so much. But it's mostly anytime you're doing chain reaction, just bring the free rocket in, and you'll get some cool combos off of it. It might keep you safe. It might extend your combo. It might just give you pressure. Up rocket is just the best move, man. I absolutely love it. Even if we're up in the air, so we're just doing our combo, you always just kind of want to bring it in, man. Why not? Just bring it in, call it in, just go for it. Anytime you have Sektor meter up, bring in the up rocket. And then last but not least, we do have his restand flamethrower. Again, I could not find anything that goes into restand. Like, having the ability to restand with Lee Mei is really awesome. We'll talk about a character soon that can do that. But, I mean, Sektor just doesn't do it. I'm not seeing any synergy with Sektor and Lee Mei, which is such a shame. The only restand I was able to find is literally just off 1-2. And we get a restand like that. For 24%, is it really worth it? Maybe. But you can't even do the whole string. 1-2-4. it's not going to work. So you have to know you're going into the restand because you have to burn a bar of meter, only do 1-2, and only do stand 2. I don't know. Really disappointing. Like I said earlier, there was so much on paper that Sektor and Lee Mei would just be so good for, but the synergy just is not quite there. Maybe they'll change it. Maybe there'll be a patch, and when that day comes, Sektor and Lee Mei will be awesome. But right now, the lack of synergy, unfortunately, I'm just not using Sektor with Lee Mei. And our next cameo up is going to be Frost. And honestly, not much to say here. Very straightforward, but very effective. And the first move up, of course, is going to be Ice Carpet. One of my favorite moves in the game. I absolutely love it. Full screen low that freezes, gives you enough time to get up and do your combo, even at full screen. It is just so good, man. If it hits, look at that, 30%. Other than that, though, really simple hit confirms in the mid screen. Always go into your forward 4-3. Again, anything that gives me that free combo, we're taking it. We're absolutely taking it. 35% into corner carry from the mid screen. Another thing I like about Ice Carpet being a low is that it brings in some really cool mix-ups. So, for example, something you'll see me use a lot with Lee Mei is forward 4-4, which is a low overhead. And honestly, we go low, low, of course, and that's going to open us up to full combo. So your opponent's either going to get hit by the overhead or they're going to get mixed up and caught by the low. One gives you a knockdown, one gives you a full combo. I'm okay with either one. So it really just depends on what we're doing, but I really like to use that as a mix-up. In the corner, though, we can actually get some pretty cool stuff. We can actually set up Lantern for free, pop them up, get that extra little bit of damage there, go full combo, and just like that, about 38% with a Lantern setup. Not bad. I definitely like that. Not only that, we also have Frost's Orb, which is really nice. You can call it in, pair it with your Lantern, so something's going to hit them. Something that's floating in the air is going to hit your opponent if they try to jump or step forward. So we can call in Frost, we can call in the Lantern, and we kind of just move down the screen with it. Takes a while to set up. It's going to be a little bit difficult, but two really good options there to kind of just control screen space however you want. Maybe it does hit them. The Lantern's also going to hit them. And we get some good combos. So not easy to set up, but a really good setup nonetheless. We also have Frost's Chip Out tool, which I like a lot. Some pretty decent damage. But on block, it works really well too. We can bring it in. And look at that. Just about, what, 10% health gone off a string into chip and full screen push. Not bad at all. I like that move. And last but not least, we do have our Ice Crash, kind of like a get off me tool. You can kind of just call this in. If your opponent's getting a little too crazy, just bring it in, tell them to leave you alone. Not a bad move at all. But again, Frost, really straightforward, super effective, really, really good with Lee Mei. Especially because of this mix-up, dude. That mix-up is going to catch everybody, especially if you're conditioning this overhead a lot. You're just constantly going for it and pissing off your opponent. One time, you just let it rip. And now we get full combo. So not much to say, but definitely effective. Our next cameo up is going to be Jax. I say it every time. My favorite cameo in the game right now. The combos are just so sick. But we're actually going to start with his forward throw, which you can meter burn 2 times. So you get 21% on a forward throw. If you meter burn it once, it's about 16%. So good, man. I know it's a lot of resources, but if you're trying to close out a game, again, your opponent's always going to be blocking. You have free plus frames off this 1-2. So you can always just grab that forward throw, rack up 21% real quick, and close out the game. Absolutely love it. Do not forget that that's a thing. But the real reason we're using Jax is, of course, because of the backbreaker combos. And I could spend like 10 minutes sitting here showing you all the different avenues of backbreaker combos. But just to show you a couple that you'll be using a lot. First, in the mid screen, really simple for 1 bar. You go backbreaker. And we can go for it about 31%. That's not bad at all. And that's off of 1-2-4. If we want to get a little bit riskier and do forward 4-3, we can pop him up, bring in Jax. He's going to catch him. And we can get full combo. 38% into corner carry off 1 bar. Again, it's off the forward 4-3, which is tough to hit. But if you do get it to hit, man, 40% into corner carry, not bad. But in the corner, this is where things get crazy. Because if you do chain reaction, far Jax backbreaker, you combo every single time. So some really cool combos can look like this. We'll go for it. Always end in chain reaction. Far backbreaker. And just like that, man, we're getting 40%. If we want some more damage, though, we could definitely get that. Forward 4-3. Pop them up. Go for it. Chain reaction. And one more time, just for good measure. 42%. Not bad at all, man. In the corner as well, we could do some cool Lantern and Jax combos, which just looks so good. We'll pop them up. 2-1-2. Chain reaction. Backbreaker. Into chain reaction again. 45%. For 1 bar, 1 backbreaker, and a sick-looking combo. Again, you can get so creative with this move, man. Just anywhere you are on screen, Lee Mei's always popping up your opponent. Literally anything you do, pop him up, bring him in, get the full combo. Get creative. That's what's the most fun part about Jax. I feel like every time I use Jax, I'm learning new routes for backbreaker. We also have Jax's Get Off Me tool. Really nice reversal. Pushes them full screen. I don't use this too much, but I mean, Jax recharges so fast after it. So really not too bad. If you're just trying to get your opponent off you, just push them away. And last but not least, we have the ground pound. I love ground pound setups. It's the first thing I look for, honestly, when I use Jax, is these ground pound setups. And what's great is pretty much anytime we end in chain reaction, go ground pound. And now they have to deal with it every single time. And we can even go backbreaker into more damage, 40% off a ground pound unblockable setup. So anytime you go chain reaction, wait till about the end, bring in Jax, and meet your opponent in the air for their demise. In the corner, this works really well, so pretty much anytime you end chain reaction, just go Jax. And now they got to deal with all this damage craziness. We'll go for it again. Bring in Jax, unblockable. They're going to jump. We'll meet them in the air, and we'll get our damage. So Jax is so good. Everything from the throw to the backbreaker creativity to the unblockable ground pound setups. I absolutely love using Jax with every character, especially Lee Mei. Our next cameo up is going to be Stryker, who might actually be in like the top 3 best cameos for Lee Mei. It's crazy how good this character is, especially now with how the meta is changing. Stryker is absolutely awesome. But first, we'll be talking about his grenades. So these are obviously great as a projectile. These are great to keep you safe. These are great for combos. They do a little bit of everything. So for example, something really simple we could do in the mid screen is pop them up. And just like that, 37% off 1 bar. Easy hit confirm. You literally just go into the grenades right after. And just like that, 37%. Right after the projectile, bring out the grenades. And you get sweet looking combos. But they're not only great for combos, they're great for pressure. So of course, we were talking earlier about the Kano ball being good for forward 4-3. Again, this is really minus. So we need a way to just kind of go for it, right? So if we do grenades, they're just going to keep us safe. Even on block, it doesn't matter. We can go for it, bring the grenades in. Even if our opponent punishes because our timing's off, the grenade's going to interrupt their punish, and then we'll be able to take our turn back. So the grenades are just insane in every category. But let's say we bring the grenades in and it actually hits. Again, doesn't matter. It's not going to affect us at all. It might even hit them based on your timing to give you a little more damage. So on hit, really good. Either doesn't make a difference or gives you more damage. And on block, they're going to keep you nice and safe and maybe even be able to steal your turn back. And of course, in the corner, we could do some pretty sweet grenade combos as well. Full combo right there. No meter at all. 33% in the corner. Can't go wrong with that. Not only that, but in the mid screen, we can actually combo off back 3-4. A move we haven't talked about too much, but really nice into low. Catches a lot of people. So you just go grenades, and you'll be able to get a full combo extension right there. The grenades are crazy, man. You could literally just sit in practice and find utility for them for hours, which is exactly what I did. I was just sitting launching grenades in all types of different scenarios, and they were sick in every single one. Block, hit, combos, whatever it is. Stryker works with these grenades, man. But we also have the baton, which has a low version as well as an overhead version, so tons of mix up there. Of course, we could just do low into low, knockdown pressure. This is going to cause the mind game off forward 4, which we really like. Oftentimes, since Lee Mei has a bunch of mids in your strings, people are just going to be blocking. They're really not going to be paying attention to overheads or lows. So if you see your opponent stand blocking, well, we'll just go for the low. And if they're just crouch blocking the whole time, we can just go right into the overhead. So tons of pressure there that you can utilize however you want. And it's safe. So really good tool here with the overhead and the low mix-up. Just either one at any point is so good. And last but not least, we have Cuffed, which I absolutely love with Lee Mei. This restand is so sick. So what you can do to get your restand pressure, we can do a really simple combo. Restand, and now this puts us in perfect range to go into forward 4, which is a low, or we'll go for it again. Stand 4, cuffed. We can go into forward 3, which is an overhead, or we could even do more. We could do forward 3, cancel into pressure, whatever we want to do from there. So there's just so many options off this cuff. After doing this string, if you go stand 4, cuff, it leaves you in a perfect position to just do whatever it is you want to do on your follow-up. Overhead, low, cancel, mix-up, dash-up, grab. So many options, man. Cuffed is so good. And overall, Stryker, like I've been saying, insane character. Takes a while to learn, is a little bit different. But man, once you get it down with the grenades and the cuffed restands and stuff like that, Stryker is sick. Our next cameo up is going to be Scorpion. And honestly, I got to make sure I don't sit here for the next 45 minutes talking about this cameo, man. Scorpion with Lee Mei is my favorite borderline team in the entire game to play, let alone my favorite cameo to use with Lee Mei. And a lot of that, of course, is because of Hellfire, an aerial combo extender. And most importantly, anytime we end chain reaction, we can actually extend our combo with a far Hellfire. Something really simple we could do, just from the mid-screen, to start off far Hellfire, 2-1-2, 4, chain reaction, another Hellfire, Lantern, 1-3, 48%. 1 bar, mid-screen to corner carry. It does not get any better than that with Lee Mei. And a Lantern combo in there as well. So I absolutely love it, man. Getting into the habit of anytime you go chain reaction, you just go Hellfire is so important. And it takes a little bit of time because sometimes you'll call it in. And if you call it in too soon or something like that, it's just not going to reach. But once you get that timing down, man, and you get it every single time, it is just free combos. And again, I know we were working pretty fast on that first combo, but just know anytime you end chain reaction in the corner and you go Hellfire, you get a free Lantern setup every single time. So to just have a guaranteed way of going Lantern is so good because the damage just turns into insanity. But that's really like the bread and butter of it. No matter where you are on screen, you're going to be able to just get insane combos, pretty much 40% every single time. I mean, look at that, man. 48% from the mid-screen. But even if you don't have any meter, like we're in the mid-screen here, Hellfire, I mean, look at that. 35%, no meter, and only half a bar of Kameo into corner push. It's just the best, man. And we also have Hellblades, a nice little overhead combo extender. So something really simple we could do with Hellblades, basically just hit confirm, pop them up, go full combo. Guess what? Hellfire. And we're pushing to the corner and getting 40%. Like I said, it's 40% anywhere on screen. Doesn't matter where you are, what you're doing. You can always go into Hellfire, extend combos, and just continue on. And it's not just off chain reaction. You could do 2-1-4 into Hellfire, into combo extender. Like, literally everything Lee Mei does ends up in Hellfire once or twice. But one of my favorite things, just to reiterate, if you go Hellfire in the corner, free lantern setup every single time. It is crazy how good it is. And last but not least, we have the Get Away From Me. I'm literally never using this at all. I guess it's pretty good. You get a hit of armor, but I'm always saving that Kameo for the Hellfire or the occasional overhead, which is really nice too. I have to cut this part because I'll sit here for the next 45 minutes doing combos. Just know Scorpion is absolutely amazing with Lee Mei. And our next Kameo up is going to be Sub-Zero. Another situation where not a lot to say, but very straightforward and very effective. First, of course, we have very simple hit confirms into freeze. That leads us into our forward 4-3, full combos, into corner carry, getting us 37% for 1 bar into corner. Really solid there. Another thing I like about Sub-Zero as well, we can go freeze, and that gives us actually a free lantern setup, plenty of time. And then we can go into our full combo here. Stand 4, chain reaction. A little bit extra damage there, but anytime I can get the lantern out for a combo or anything, I am definitely happy. Then also with Sub, we have Cold Shoulder, a nice little get off of me tool. It's a mid. Great way to start off a round or a match as well. Just kind of throw this out there. If it hits your opponent, you get first hit bonus. If not, it just pushes them back a little bit on block, a little bit of chip. Really not bad to just call this out there. And finally, everybody's favorite part of Sub is the ice armor, and this stops all projectiles. And with Lee Mei, this actually works really well because her projectiles are pretty insane. So if we set Shank to throw some fireballs at us, we can actually set up freeze. And now we get all of this time to do whatever we want. We can set up lanterns. We can just go for it. And we're basically going to be winning every single fight from this range. And like I said, we have some really good projectiles here that can even combo. So I really like it, man. Just kind of letting it rip. Go for it. Maybe set up a lantern. Your opponent wants to jump in. You don't let them. Keep them at this range here. Don't have to block. And yeah, we basically just win the projectile fight. And for someone like Lee Mei who has great projectiles, this just helps so much. Also, with Lee Mei, you might get stuck. Like, a lot of times, you're really just trying to push forward and get this stand 1-2 to start your combos. So to kind of just have this lets you walk forward. And now we can kind of go into our full combos just like that. Really, really good move. But other than that, again, not much to say. Very straightforward Kameo, but very effective for Lee Mei. Definitely a solid choice. Our next Kameo up is going to be Kung Lao. Probably unanimously considered one of the best cameos in the game right now. And honestly, such a good Kameo for Lee Mei. First up, we have Low Hat, an amazing projectile, nice and quick. It's a low, and it just pairs nicely with everything Lee Mei wants to do. So if we're at full screen, we can hold it, and now we're covering like air and ground. We can take that even a step further. Low Hat, lantern, and projectile. Now they literally cannot do anything. They can't jump, they can't duck, they can't just stand there. Something is gonna hit. So to be able to have like all 3 projectiles out at once, like, what are you supposed to do against that? Also, of course, we have a mix-up. Instead of going forward 4-4, which is the overhead, go forward 4, low hat, take your turn back, maybe get a stand 4 in after that. Low hat anytime, on block, on hit, just send it out there. It's great. But Lee Mei's forward 4-3, super minus on block. You got to be really careful using it. Well, if we have low hat, we just go for it. Low hat's going to keep us safe as long as your timing is good on it. So you just go low hat, go for your forward 4-3, and that kind of keeps you safe. Maybe even gives you your turn back. And the thing is, on hit, if we hold it, we go for it, it's just not going to have any effect, so it doesn't even matter. So we either get the combo or we get the safety of the low hat. Really, really nice there. Anything that gives me a free forward 4-3 for either safety or has no effect so I can get my full combo is just great. Another thing that's really cool about low hat is we have an overhead cancel. So we can go low hat and then overhead, and it's basically they're going to be like, what am I supposed to block? So basically you go low hat, overhead fake, let the hat rip, and then you get full combo or something like that. There's a lot of like weird tech that you could do with Lee Mei. That's just another thing to note. And next we have Kung Lao's spin. And honestly, this was the same situation that we ran into with Sektor. If you watched that part of the video, spin does not combo off 1-2. Spin does not combo off 2-1. It only combos off 4-3. Not sure why, but it only combos off 4-3. And that gives us a nice and simple 37% mid-screen for 1 bar. But we can also do some cool stuff. We can do Lao spin, free lantern setup, get a little bit of extra damage there on the end, and that'll bring us up to about 40, which is even better. I love those lantern combos. But now what's really weird is 1-2 also does combo in the corner. 2-1 combos in the corner. So at mid-screen, this does not work, but in the corner, it definitely does work. So we can do some cool stuff. Again, lantern, 2-1-2. and just go for the full combo right there. Basically the same thing that we were doing in the mid screen, but just know 1-2 in the corner definitely does work. 2-1 in the corner works. I don't know why it's only the corner. I guess it's just the pushback, but really easy hit confirms there. I mean, you really can't ever go wrong. Anything simple into spin works for me. I'm happy with it. And last but not least, we have the teleport. I really am not finding much use for it. Maybe if you have full screen and you're getting zoned out, hit a quick teleport. You got to hit an armor. Maybe get a quick stand one in. Not using the teleport too much. Mostly just want that low hat and the occasional spin, depending on where I am on screen, I guess. The next cameo up is Shujinko, and if you guys have been watching these videos for other characters, you know we do skip Shujinko. His moveset changes based on who you're playing against. So that's just kind of all a video on his own. The next cameo up is going to be Motaro, and honestly, not too much to talk about. There is some pretty neat stuff that we could do with the character, though. So first up, we do have the teleport, and what's really cool about the teleport is it pairs really nicely with her chain reaction. So this move has two versions. We have the regular, which punches them far away. Then we have her armored wake-up version, which kind of like has a weird slow-mo effect to it. But let's say our opponent knocks us down and we want to wake up armor. We can go wake up armor, teleport, and look where we end up as soon as they stand up. So that's really, really cool. So on your wake up, usually you don't get a follow-up. You're kind of like back here. But with this teleport, we go into it, and right away we're into our pressure string, which is really nice. Honestly, that's a pretty solid use of a cameo. But for the regular version of chain reaction, so let's say we just go for it, pushes them away, look where we are. We're right next to them. So you got to work on the timing a little bit. There's like different ways to do it, but right after that last punch, dash up, 1-2, go right into your string. So I really like it, man. I think it's a little bit better on the armored version. Kind of gets you right up in there, kind of do what you want to do and just follow up after you got knocked down. But other than that, maybe just at full screen again if you're trying to get in close. But teleport's pretty cool. Then next we have tail shot, a quick firing low. Again, with every cameo that has a low, good mix up, low there. Now we go low overhead, then we can go low, low. So really good mix up right there. You get to use two of them. You want to go just quadruple low, you could do that. And then follow up with the overhead again. Really mess your opponent up. Not too bad, honestly, not too bad. Then we have tail turret, which takes up the entire cameo bar. But I mean, man, you could do some serious damage from that range, especially with Lee May's meter burn version, how it pops them up. So you just go for it, let the meter burn version rip. And I mean, there's just a minefield that they have to get through. And last but not least, we do have the reflect, which you can hold, and he kind of walks your opponent down. So if we set Shang, we just get to be put in this situation now where he can't do anything, and we actually get a ton of damage. So overall, Motaro, he's got some pretty neat stuff. If you really like Motaro, I'm sure you can find some cool stuff with Lee May. But personally, I just don't think it's enough for me to pick. But still a cool character and some pretty cool stuff you can do nonetheless. Our next cameo up is going to be Goro, a cameo that's definitely on the come up right now. A lot of people are loving Goro, and he works really well with Lee May. So first up, we do have Raise the Roof, which is a combo extender. Also safety. So the first thing we'll talk about is the safety. Again, I'm always talking about this forward 4-3 and how minus it is. But if you go forward 4-3 into Raise the Roof, now it makes you plus on block, which is really nice. Keeps you safe. And let's say the forward 4-3 hits. Well, that Raise the Roof is basically just going to give us a full combo into corner carry 35%. Really no reason to not go for forward 4-3 when you're using Goro, because you just have that safety and that combo extender. We haven't been talking about this string too much in this video, but I also like Raise the Roof because of back 3-4. So we go back 3-4, Raise the Roof. That's going to give us a full combo. This is actually going to break 40%, man. 41% from the mid screen for one bar. It does take up Goro's entire meter, and as you guys can see, it is taking a while to come back. So maybe not worth it, but still 41% from the mid screen definitely does some damage. I also like Raise the Roof in the corner because it does let us combo after chain reactions. So something really simple we could do, we'll go chain reaction, bring in Goro, and just like that, we can get a nice, easy, what is that, 37% for one bar in the corner? Not bad at all. Off a 1-2-4 into chain reaction. I absolutely love that. So whether you're using it to extend your combos or using it to keep you safe on minus strings, Raise the Roof is so good. And you'll find really good opportunities to just call it in, make you plus, give you a chance to go into your 1-2-4, whatever it is you got to do. And then the other move worth noting is going to be dead weight. This is going to be a little bit of a combo extender and side switch if you guys watch the Sonya segment. So we can do something really simple. Off 4-3. Pop them up, full combo here, into pressure. Again, side switching 35, especially if you're in the corner and you're trying to fight your way out. We can definitely do that. Put them in the corner, full pressure. But I like dead weight, man. Super slept on, you don't see it too much, but definitely a good move. But honestly, other than that, he does have punch walk. I still have yet to see this move used online against me with someone that was using Goro, so keep that in mind. And then last but not least, of course, we do have the stomp. Again, takes up the entire bar of Goro, and when that happens, Goro does not come back for like literally an entire minute, so just keep that in mind. Is it really worth it to use the whole bar for, what is that, 9% unblockable? I don't think so. But the utility from Raise the Roof is just so good, man. Like, makes Goro completely worth it. And honestly, a great pick for Lee May without a doubt. And our last cameo for the video is going to be Tremor, who is definitely unique, and doesn't play like any other Kameo, that's for sure. But he does some cool stuff with Lee Mei. You can call Tremor in and then turn him into an ambush and get a free low projectile. One thing I like to do a lot is I'll go chain reaction, bring in Tremor, turn him into a low projectile that they have to deal with as soon as they get up. It's a really good pressure tool because now your opponent has to deal with a low projectile basically anytime that they're standing up. And if it does hit, you get an extra 14% on top of whatever combo you just did. Also at full screen, Metallic just pairs really nicely with all of these projectiles because we have the low, we have the bowling ball. We can also turn it into an overhead. So it just causes your opponent to have to deal with a lot at full screen, which is not bad at all. And another thing I like to do with this kind of bowling ball low projectile setup is back throw Lee Mei. And then you go into it. And just like that, you throw, and then immediately, as soon as they're standing up, they're dealing with a low projectile. So it is a lot. I mean, it takes up his entire Kameo bar. You're really not getting that much use out of it. But sometimes, man, you get into a really sweaty game, and those little things are what make the difference. So just knowing that, like, bringing this in and going into low is just really good. Another thing I like to do with Tremor in the corner as well is bring in the Metallic, and we get a full combo after your down back 3. So a really simple combo could look something like this. Again, does take up the whole Kameo meter, but it looks cool, and it does about 40%, so honestly, not too bad. But do know that you can actually get more damage by just keeping Tremor in Aftershock and going for the up smash. So if we do up smash, it gives us a free lantern setup, 2-1-2. I mean, you guys already know this damage is going to be insane. And we're getting that 405 for only half a bar of Tremor, and he's basically back by the end of the combo. So really not worth it to go for this, but if you ever find yourself in a situation where you're ending with this move, it's really not too bad. Another thing I like to do is go chain reaction, crystalline Tremor, and this gives us a free crystal armor setup. So if you're liking the crystal armor, anytime you go chain reaction, you basically get a free setup. So why not just go for it? Again, takes up that whole bar of Kameo and takes up a while to come back. But if you feel like you really need that crystalline armor, you get a free setup for it. But again, if you guys have been watching my videos, you know I really just like Aftershock Tremor. This low is really good. Again, with any low, we can now do double low. 12%, not too bad. Or we could go overhead, again, just causing that wild mix-up to our opponent, making them have to think every second. This works a lot, actually. And we could also do some really simple mid-screen combos, 2-1-2. Into chain reaction. Nice and simple there. 37% off a hit confirm. I just love Aftershock, man. I will say with Lee Mei, I'm finding some good utility out of the bowling ball ambush. But honestly, man, there's no reason to just not keep it in Aftershock at all time. I mean, the Kameo's already pretty much back. So Tremor's a lot of fun. I just don't think the ambush resources are ever really that worth it. Maybe for the crystalline armor. But I do love Aftershock for sure.